What's up, everyone? Back for another Whodunit Beer review, and today's beer comes courtesy of a friend of mine, Kenny. So huge thanks to Kenny for this beer. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Whodunit Beer reviews are, they are essentially blind/mystery beer reviews where somebody will wrap up and conceal a beer, like Kenny did with this one. They will then either send or give me said beer, and I'll review it like I do any other beer on the channel, with the lone exception being, of course, I have no idea what the beer is. So at the end of the review, I try to guess the beer style, its ABV, and if I'm feeling confident enough, I'll try to guess the exact beer, although that is extremely rare because it is extremely difficult to do. I've done it like, I think one time, maybe two. Incredibly difficult. I will then finally rate the beer before revealing it to both you and myself. Now, what do I know about this beer right here in front of me? Well, it looks like it's in, I'm gonna guess, this is a 500 milliliter bottle, so a 16.9 fluid ounce bottle. Could be a 375, which is a 12.7 fluid ounce bottle. I don't know, it's definitely bigger format than just 12 fluid ounces. So I'm gonna say it's a 500 milliliter bottle. It was given to me by the aforementioned Kenny, who works at one of my favorite local bottle shops here in the Buffalo, New York area, Premier Gourmet. They're located in Amherst, New York. Absolutely fantastic bottle shop. If you're in the area, you got to check them out. They have one of the best import sections. So I know that Kenny obviously works there. So this could be a beer off the shelf from Premier. It could be maybe a beer from his cellar, maybe a beer he got in a trade, maybe an aged beer from somebody else. Who knows? I have no idea. I just know that he gave it to me. And that's the one thing about whodunit/blind/mystery beer reviews. You start working yourself up thinking about, oh, this guy is located here. This is what he has access to. And a lot of times it doesn't even matter because people are trying to throw you a curveball. I just know it looks like it's in a bigger format bottle. It comes from Kenny. And the other thing I know about this one is that it's at least 3 months old. Kenny gave this to me back in the fall of last year. It was before Thanksgiving. We are here in late February, so it's at least 3 months old. I don't remember exactly when he gave it to me. It could have been September or October, but it's at least 3 months old. And so as far as the date, it's going to be at least 3 months, but who knows? Could be an aged bottle. And the other thing I want to let you know before I get into the review, I'm always transparent and honest with these reviews. Kenny and I were talking, I think it was maybe about a month and a half ago, and he asked me if I reviewed this yet, and I said, no, I'm going to do it before the end of winter. And he said real quickly, oh, that's good because it's appropriate for the, what do you say, appropriate for either the season, or he said it's appropriate for like, the time frame. And what I took from that is that he meant it was appropriate for basically winter. Now, what does that mean? In my mind, I'm thinking, hey, it's probably an imperial beer of some sort, but I don't know what exactly that means. But if I had to guess, it's probably going to be bigger ABV. And I just want to let you know that, and before I review it, so I'm not lying about it. He did mention that, so it's a little bit in the back of my mind, and that's all we got. So got the big glass here. Now, I will say it looks weird, right? This how this is laid out in front of you. I couldn't put it down flush. And the reason why I couldn't do that is it kept on falling over because of how the paper bag is. So you didn't see there's no breach, or shouldn't be any breach at the bottom here. I didn't do anything to this. I just kind of flattened it out so it will go on my coaster and I could actually put it here. He also has one of these wine things, which I will take off right now. He also had the little name tag. It says Joe, which is cool. So I can take off these two things, throw them off camera, and he's got the duct tape for the cap. So I'm going to crack this one open, get in the glass. I don't know if I'm going to pour all of it just because it could be a bigger beer, and if it is, I don't want to have to drink it all. Now look underneath the cap. Doesn't look too murky or anything or nasty. All right, we're going to throw this over here, and we are going to, if it stays there, stay there, please. Thank you. We're going to try to pour this and not get it everywhere. Okay, put this off camera over here. All right, here we go. You ready? Ready. Oh. That does not look like it has a ton of carbonation. All right, it's getting a little bit better. Do something like this for now. I'm going to do about half. Because that's right now off the top of my head, I'm thinking like wee heavy, barley wine, Scotch ale, things of that nature. So how does that look? It has decent carbonation. So yeah, that to me, first things first, it has that deep copper, almost like deep ruby red kind of look to it. Like a very deep amber. Like it looks like a barley wine or like a wee heavy. Has about 3/4 of a finger of this really super creamy head. There are alcohol sheets, so this is a big beer. I would guess this is a huge beer. But it looks like, look how frothy that looks. looks absolutely dynamite. Like, look how frothy that head looks. It looks creamy. It's like straight on khaki colored, like a firm khaki colored. Hold it up to the light. Again, very fine particulates for sure. But yeah, there's alcohol legs. I would guess at least 12% based on the legs and just how the beer looks. I didn't really get a nose when I cracked it. I just thought, all right, it smells kind of like alcohol, but outside of that, no. Feels like it's oxidized. There's this, maybe it's from the brown paper bag, no, but it has like that cardboardy kind of. This honestly smells more like a wee heavier Scotch ale to me. There's a little bit of smokiness here. And then there is a little bit of like a barrel. Tons of caramelized sugars. There's caramel, there's toffee. There's like a sweet red cherry. And there's a nondescript like barrel. Would I say bourbon? Would I say, something else? It just has like this vanilla oaky kind of spirit quality, but I can't specify off the nose. Yeah, there's a little bit of oxidation in the nose. Like again, that I wouldn't say like wet cardboard, but it has like that cardboard-esque kind of quality. Maybe I'm getting a little bit like sherry because of the oxidation. Maybe that's more of the spirit. I have no idea. I'm not saying this is old. I'm just saying it's a little bit oxidized. There's a really nice like grapey character too. Like a red grape, almost wine-esque. It's boozy, it's rich, it's sweet. There's oxidation, little barrel. I'm very curious about what this could be. Again, that smoky, there's a little bit of smokiness. Okay, as I go back, the alcohol is very present. I'm thinking this is a big ass beer. I don't know. Anyway, I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Kenny. That's a big beer. It is a very big beer. Holy shit, is that big. If this isn't at least like, now I'm tasting it, if this isn't at least like 13 to 14%, then this is very boozy. Wow. All right, let me go back. Buying this is thick. This is like medium to full-on body. So right off the rip, this is at least 12%. I would guess 13, 14%. The mouthfeel is incredibly soft. It's smooth, it's creamy. There's a mild carbonation, but it's not like, it's perfect for what I kind of want out of a beer like this. Now, coming to the actual style, I'm between like, that barley wine old ale range and into like a big wee heavy. I think it's more of like a barley wine or an old ale. And the reason for that is when I do drink like wee heavies, I don't get as much of the richness from the malt, because a lot of those aren't, huge ABVs. You're talking like 10 plus, right? A lot of them are in like the 8, 9, 10 range, right? But not typically over it, unless you get something like a Founder's like Backwoods Bastard that's like 10.5 or whatever. Or maybe that's like 9.5, 10. I don't remember what that is, but you don't see a lot of wee heavies either. This is very rich. First of all, the alcohol. I'm probably just going to throw like a random number out there. I'm guessing this is at least 13%. I'm going to probably guess in like the mid 13s to almost 14. Huge warm in my chest. There's an astringent kind of booziness on the palate. I'm getting the vapors into the nose. It's very like, it just like clean, it just cleansed my sinuses. Like that's what just happened. But there's a shit ton of rich caramel, toffee. There's a little bit of like marzipan. There's a nuttiness. There's like a cocoa powder. Very complex malt quality at the front of the palate. After that, I get that red cherry into, I'm gonna say red cherry into like almost a red wine-esque kind of feeling. Like it has more like a red grape quality. So that's the fruitiness I'm getting. Maybe some underlying dark fruits, like maybe a raisin or a date, but it's more like cherry and red grape. I will say, if there's a barrel involved here, I don't think it's bourbon. And the reason why I would say I don't think it's bourbon is there is a vanilla oak quality, but that red grape and cherry thing's kind of carrying to the back. I'm feeling like this is like a port wine, a sherry, maybe even like a fruited brandy, but I wouldn't think it'd be a fruited brandy. I think it'd be like sherry port wine, like barley wine. If there is no barrel here, it is so boozy, I would be surprised. So I think this is like a barrel-aged English barley wine or barrel-aged old ale. And I think the barrel's either like port wine or sherry. And a lot of times, you know, I won't specify the barrel. I'll just say, hey, it's one or the other. That's what I would guess. Holy, this is a big ass beer. This could be a lot bigger than I'm anticipating. The finish, this is sweet and rich and complex overall, but there is a nice like semi to full-on dry finish. Really no bitterness, maybe a very mild touch of bitterness. It's earthy on the back of the palate. Here's the thing. I mentioned the oxidation in the nose. It's it's like a slight oxidation, but the nose was way more oxidized than the actual taste. And maybe again, that's where that sherry port wine thing, more to the sherry side of things, because this could be an oxidized, like older barley wine, which means it might not be barrel aged. Let me try to really figure out if this is barrel aged or not, because I don't know. Like I know nothing about this beer, obviously, and that's where I'm kind of, you know, I'm trying to formulate what I'm going to go with style and ABV wise. But I don't know if this is barrel aged. But it's not that intense with the barrels, I guess the way I'd put it. It's really tasty though. Holy shit. This has to be barrel aged, I think. All right, so what's my guess on this? You know, fuck it, I'm drinking the rest of this. I want to pour a rest in. I just want to see if anything changes. I'm drinking this all tonight. It's going to take me 2 hours, but I'm getting it all done tonight. Oh, is there some goodies at the end? I got to investigate. You can't, because if I got something and I miss, and it's because I didn't pour the rest of it in, I'll be pissed. It's just a fucking, that is a, look how gorgeous this beer is. It's a fucking gorgeous looking beer. All right. All right. Again, it's skirting the lines of a barley wine and old ale into a wee heavy. I don't think a wee heavy would be this boozy, not noticeable, but you know, there's a lot of beers out there. This is what I'll lock in. I'll lock in a 13.7 random number. 13.7 sherry or port wine barrel-aged English barley wine. Could say old ale. If it isn't one of those two barrels, if it's like bourbon or something, I guess maybe the oxidation is producing that like kind of sherry port wine note. This is delicious though, and I'm really enjoying it. I would give this, what's stopping it from me just going out of, you know, over the moon on this one? The fucking booze. This is one of the booziest beers I've had in a hot minute. I'm probably underselling this at 13.7. If it's under 13.7, that's ridiculous. But I'm saying 13.7. This could be 15, could be 16, 7. I have no idea. It's a fucking huge beer though. And again, just I feel it everywhere. Like it feels really, really intense on the palate. So that stops it for me going nuts. I also get that oxidation in the nose. I love the actual taste and the mouthfeel and the body and everything. It's just very boozy. I give this like a high 4.5 and go 4.55. I hope this is some like, it's not gonna be a shelfy beer, but I hope it's something. So again, lock in, 13.7% sherry or port wine barrel-aged English barley wine, could say old ale. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a wee heavy. Yeah, cop out. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like a bourbon or something like that. If it's a different kind of barrel, I'm not a spirit drinker, so that's what I'm thinking. Could be oxidized. I don't know, just making up a lot of things because I'm going to be wrong. So watch it be crazy. All right. So thanks again, Kenny. This was fun and it's delicious. And I think that's a key thing. I guess I'll just be able to easily pull this out. I'll let you guys look at it first. See what this is. Oh, my chest is on fire from this thing. I am curious about the ABV. All right. So you guys are seeing it. Let me see. Wow. So do they have an age on this? All right. So I didn't do terrible. It's not barrel aged. So all of that like sherry kind of port wine is coming from the fact that this is probably oxidized to some degree. But again, in the taste, it has more of that sherry. All right, so this is Combs, and this is their barley wine. Barley wine style ale, 12%. I said 13.7. Right? Product of Poland, rich and multi-character intense aroma. So I got the base beer right, barley wine, English barley wine. I missed on the ABV by 1.7, and I said it was barrel aged, which is not. Here's the thing. It has a lot number on the back. I don't know what this lot number means at all. It says 46/30/22. Now, does that mean this beer is, well, this is also stored for 36 months and the beer changes its taste and it shows like fresh and malty and then dry and complex. I would say this is kind of in between. If this is a lot number that was produced in 2022, then this is at least like a year and a half old, if not 2 years old. I will just say this. This beer is a 4.55 out of 5. This is fucking delicious. This is an aged bottle, I'd imagine. Kenny, if you watch this review and you know exactly when this was produced or you have an idea, let me know. It says to drink between 57.2 and 60.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Fun fact, I had this in my regular beer fridge the entire time that Kenny gave it to me, and I moved it to my darker beer fridge yesterday because I wanted to drink it a little warmer. Right now, this is probably like close to 60. So let me try and pick this apart here. There's a ton of rich maltiness. It's fruity. It's everything they say. So like I nailed the base style. On the finish though, there is a like woody, like tannin-esque type of thing going on. And I said, the reason why I said sherry or port wine, because the booze and the fact that I'm tasting something akin to sherry. And a lot of times that happens with oxidized beers. And that is what's happening here. I think it's oxidized, not like beyond belief, but enough to give me that like kind of sherry. There's a Whodunit beer, the Whodunit brewery out of, where are they at? Right out of Detroit, like the outskirts of Detroit, suburbs of Detroit. Is it Warren? Can't remember exactly where they are, but they, I had a barley wine from them that was like 2 or 3 years old. And I remember sherry, a couple friends of mine and I split that. And it was wild how like sherry forward that beer was, despite the fact that there was zero barrel aging in whatever beer. I forget what it was. If it was just their barley wine, I can't remember what it was. Or maybe it was a regular 4D old ale. And that's what this is reminiscent of. Drinking that beer, getting sherry, getting barrel aged. And basically what I'm doing is just trying to make up excuses for me calling this a sherry barrel aged English barley wine at 13.7%, where this was just an English style barley wine at 12%. What would I give myself? I'd give myself like a B- into a B. I nailed the base style. I was off on the ABV. And this is not barrel aged, and I said it was. But when you throw in a wild card, like the fact that this is aged, you don't know what exactly the aging does to a beer like this. And I'll tell you right now, it makes it super boozy. It makes it seem like it's sherry barrel aged, and it makes it seem like it's almost 14%. Because my chest right now is on fire. So is my fucking throat, and like I told you, I cleaned out my sinuses. The key thing to take away from this review, other than the fact that it's be like 20 minutes long, is that Kenny's awesome for hooking me up with this and me doing a review. And the second thing is, this is a delicious beer, especially with some age on it. I gave it a 4.55. Fun fact, I do have a bottle of this in my own cellar. That's probably closer to like 3 or 4 years old. Maybe I'll review that later this year as a normal review and see how it compares to this one. So Kenny, once again, or anybody out there, if you know what the lot number means, a lot of times it's like Best Buy. This could be Best Buy 2022. This might be, honestly, like a 2018 or 19. I have no idea. I just know that it tastes, from that sherry and not being barrel aged is definitely oxidized. So if you watch this to the end and you want to throw a letter number, Jesus Christ, Joe, I think I'm hammered. You want to throw a letter grade into the comment section. Would you give me on a typical school grade? Would you give me A, B, C, D, F? Would I get an F? Like I said, B- to B for me. I'm pretty happy with how I did. I'm kind of pissed off that I said barrel aged because I think that's what the fucking oxidation did, and it pisses me off. But it's really good beer. So huge thanks to Kenny for another Whodunit. This is the only Whodunit I have on hand, so hopefully get my hands on some more going forward. These are a lot of fun to review, even when you don't completely nail it. And I totally didn't today. So huge thanks to Kenny. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another Whodunit beer review. To the next one. Cheers.